What it is, what it doing, how the hell are all of you? George Truly Petra, fucking back with another mother. You already know the deal. Grab your smoke, grab your drink, and lock it with your boy, because we back with a boyish, feminine, Catwoman, whatever the fuck she was talking about. We back with her. Check it on out. Shout out to libs of TikTok. I haven't been on TikTok today, so I haven't seen Catwoman and her bullshit, but she don't have the stripes on today. But let me pull it on up for you. Give me a second. Boom, son. Looking like, you ever seen the Drew Carey show? She looked like Mimi, bro. Mimi on steroids with a little bit of cocaine, a little bit of ketamine mixed in that bitch. She looked like that, you know what I mean? Now, let me tap that bitch on out. Man, this shit just does not want to end. Man, when you're trying to tap out the old bowl with the new bowl because you just want to taste the new shit. Has anybody ever tasted some London pound cake weed, man? I got that shit. I ain't never tasted it. I'm trying to taste it. But I got to get through whatever strain this shit is. It just don't want to fucking die. Killing me, son. Let's bang out what she got to say.
I just want to shed some light on the term gender fair and what it means. I personally identify as gender fair. It is a form of gender fluidity that never fully encompasses feeling entirely.
Yeah, see, they just keep adding more shit to this, bro. If it ain't fucking gender A on Friday, man, it's gender D/7.4*87.5 on Monday. That's what this shit is, bro. It's insane to me. You cannot just keep making up genders because you want to feel some fucking special kind of way. It doesn't make no sense. Gender what? Gender fey is what you called it? And then you just had another person on Libs of TikTok talking about gender like Floretta or some shit. We gonna get to that. But the point is, you got motherfuckers that are just coming up with subsects of other sexualities like gender fluidity. You just add another subsect to that shit? That's not how this works. And that's why motherfuckers is gonna keep calling y'all crazy, mental illness, everything in the motherfucking sun, in the dictionary, under the sand, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because of this shit. This makes no sense and nobody can back this shit. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense to nobody. You want how many genders? You want how many genders to pop up? And you want everybody and their mama to back that and respect that? That's bullshit. And ain't nobody all gonna respect that shit. Never. And you always gonna have people like me clowning Mimi over here because of that shit. Couldn't you just be a girl that wants to be feminine? Sometimes wants to be boyish and sometimes wants to dress as a furry cat? Nah, you gotta add extra shit to that. And then you want everybody to buy into it wholesale, no questions asked. And that's where motherfuckers draw the line.
But can feel boyish and masculine at times.
And that right there, the boyish and masculine, that don't make no sense. That really does not make no sense. In my personal opinion, that sounds really suspect. Sounds really questionable. What do you mean boyish? And what do you mean like when you compare boyish to masculine? Are you trying to say at some points you feel like a young boy? Are you trying to say at some points that you feel like you're a child versus a full-grown man? Because to me, like I said, that sounds questionable. That sounds sus, bro. Boyish and masculine. What you mean? Because we gonna keep it a buck, all the way a buck. You got motherfuckers out here arguing that pedophilia is a sexuality. And we all know that ain't never gonna fly. So when I hear someone use the terms boyish, makes me think automatically pedophilia, because you don't hear no pedophiles talking about, I want a masculine one. You don't hear none of that shit, bro. And not that there's not some weirdo fuck out there that does. But you don't never really hear about it. You know what I mean? So that, to me, man, it raises red flags when people say weird shit like that. It does for other people, too. I know I'm not the only one.
It is a little weird coming out to TikTok. But, I want the world to understand who...
Came out to TikTok. Huh. That London pound cake is fire. If y'all ever get a chance to try it, try that shit, bro. Oh boy, call me a rude boy. You already know what it is. Some of these strains be catching a motherfucker off guard. And I don't care if you didn't want to reshoot none of that shit. I don't edit, so I ain't got a problem with her caption. I'm going to make it clear. I think everybody has the right to be themselves. I think everybody has the right to want to live their life. I think everybody has the right to want to pursue the pursuit of happiness. But I do not believe that if your happiness means that you get to change everything for another subsegment of people that don't want that shit to change, then maybe your happiness shouldn't be that important if it has to affect so many other people. And this isn't just affecting one or two people. You got certain job applications, you got certain like filling out IDs, this, that, the other, that are gonna, offer these options. And that's nuts. Because you could still be all you want to be, but you don't have to force it on everyone else. And I already know they're like, you know what? If me being myself affects you so badly, then maybe you're the problem. I'm okay being the problem. Don't get it twisted. I don't give a fuck. But then that just means I'm going to talk more shit against it. Because I noticed after I did the Catwoman video, multiple other stations, Elijah Schaefer, Steven Crowder, other people started touching on them. And I'm like, hey, shit, at least I got to it first. Hey, shit. Because I'm up all night watching this dumb shit. I got time. Unlike so many other people that it does affect. And just because you think I'm the problem doesn't mean I don't get to have my say. And that makes you mad. And by you, I mean the LBGT community. I'm not stupid. I've been called so many fucking names by people in that community. It don't shake me. I'm not worried. I'm not shook. But I'm not going to sit and bow down either. I'm not going to let you call yourself a cat because you think it's okay. Especially if you're going to try to jam it down my throat that it's okay. I don't give a fuck what you want to be. And I know others don't either. I don't care what your sexuality is. Why we got to know what it is. And coming out to TikTok, you do what you got to do. Come out to whoever you want. But it doesn't make it any less weird and or questionable because of the way in what you're coming out as. And this ain't the only person. So when they say it's a mental illness and shit, there really has to be some truth in it, especially if people are talking about they feel cat-like. You know what I mean? Feeling boyish and you're an adult. You can feel feminine, you can feel masculine. But you don't hear I feel girlish. I feel like it's fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot tell me that that's not weird. You cannot tell me if someone told you that shit to your face, that would not put you off a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, that's creepy, bro.
I am a little better. And I do like being called a pretty girl, but I also love being called a handsome boy.
And that right there, a pretty girl, a handsome boy. It truly sounds like there's got to be some issues here. Mommy, daddy issues, this, that, the other. But you want it, like, couldn't you be called a pretty lady? Handsome man? No, to me, I understand. People might, man, you playing semantics. That's what you have to do. They playing fucking semantics. What you talking about? They playing with words, bro. Girlish, boyish, little girl, beautiful girl. No, none of that shit, bro. And you can't just switch that shit up on a dime. And then expect everybody that doesn't like that shit to go by the word cis. It don't work that way. And it ain't never gonna work that way. And the longer people placate into this bullshit, the longer they're gonna keep coming up with more fucking sexualities, genders, this, that, other thing. At some point, you gotta say, yo, reality gotta come back, player. I don't know how else someone else could say it, man. Because that's not reality if you want to feel boyish one day and girlish the next day. Just like there was another person on TikTok, man. And it's not her. We don't with the cat lady. There was another girl on TikTok, bro. And it's on libs of TikTok. We're going to go back to that after this. But there was a girl in there. She was talking about, how do you plan for a week vacation as someone that's gender fluid? Do you hear yourself? And then she goes, sometimes I want to be a boy. Sometimes I want to be a girl. Sometimes I want to, sometimes I feel like a fart in the wind. See, that's where, how can you expect people to take you fucking seriously? You might win with the boy-girl arguments. You could win with that. Sure, you could win over just about anybody with that shit. That's simple. Sometimes because that could be a true mental illness. That you have that kind of dysphoria. But when you start throwing fart in the wind, cat-like, that type shit, it sounds more like a joke than it does serious. And it sounds more like you want to be a part of the trend than you actually have that issue. Now, I know there's been a lot of talk from experts, this, that, the other on the situation. There's been a lot of people that went and did. There one lady that was on Joe Rogan, and she wrote a book about it. One of the statistics that stood out was like 10, 15, 20 years ago, it was like 1 in 10,000 people is transgender. And now it's just massive. Like the statistics are insanely different. And makes you think, how many people are just riding the trend for a friend? Because that's what it is. You got a lot of these people, bro, that would be considered outcasts per se in high school, kids that ain't got no friends, kids that sit out alone at the lunch table. And I've never not said that was not fucked up, because that is fucked up. They could always be the best people in the world, the people that sit alone, you know what I mean? But it's when you open the gate to, especially when every time someone comes out, it's like a coming out party, you know what I mean? It's the attention that everybody wants. It's the attention that every child wants to get from everybody, because that's what it is. And it's consistent attention, because now you're going to have whoever involved having to make sure that you got, if you need meds, on meds, if you're seeing the doctor, got to see the doctor, yada, yada, yada. Now you got the attention you want. I just always try to be a realist. I always try to bring logic to shit, common sense. And I think sometimes it's so easy to just skirt that and throw it out the window. People just get lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? And this is a completely different example. But yesterday was 9/11. And you had people saying it was inside job, this, that, the other. People wanted to have the conversation as to what. One person said, somebody had to have lit off a bomb because of the way the plane blew up. And when you think about it, nah, man, planes go extremely fucking fast, because this is where I say logic and common sense. The guy one of the guys was on Dan Bongino's show last night, Unfiltered. He was a lieutenant colonel. He when he was in the Pentagon, he got fucked up pretty badly when the plane crashed. This, that, the other, covered in jet fuel, all this shit, right? He said the plane crashed at like 500 miles an hour plus. What makes you think that plane was slowing down when it hit the Twin Towers? You know what I mean? Like, common sense goes out the window so easily when it comes to just having a conversation and delving into things. Because sometimes you go so far in, you don't think of common sense, you don't think of logic. When it comes to the gender conversation and all that, you have doctors that can't even say, you know what, maybe we should just, think of psychology for a while, this, that, the other. They get shut down. No, you can't tell. They can be arrested, have their practices and shit shut down if they say the wrong thing. So they don't have a choice. And this is well documented. This is not something that I'm just shooting out my ass. This has been talked about on multiple different channels, multiple different news outlets, period. There are doctors that hands are tied. Because if they say, oh, you know what, maybe we should not do the hormone blockers, this, that, the other, they can get sued, fucking shut down, yada, 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 for not doing, per se, what the patient wants. And you got parents out here that I think instead of trying to be a parent and get down to the bottom of things, they want to be friends. They want to be liked. It's the same shit. Like, nah, when you're a parent, you're a parent. You is not your child's friend. You are their parent. You are supposed to do what's best for them. So when you got parents out here, in that case of that little boy, you want to get like a 3, 4, 7-year-old, have their sex change, this, that, the other. That's fucking weirdo shit. You definitely going to send off weirdo vibes to millions of people, because that doesn't seem like a parent. That doesn't seem like you have the best interest at heart, you know what I mean? And when I think of a lot of people in the transgender community, I just think a lot of people just didn't ever have their best interest at heart. Not that there's not people that feel transgender and want to go through with it, because yeah, that can happen, especially in 2021, where science and medical capabilities came far from what they were 20, 30, 40 years ago. The doors are way more open than they were. But that doesn't mean it should seem like a trend that it is. It seems like a fucking trend. More and more every day you see more and more trans stuff, more and more gay stuff. Not that it's I don't give a fuck. Do what you want to do in your bedroom. Now, my biblical beliefs, I can't say that God's going to side with you. But that's between you and God. I'm not here to judge you. But I do get an opinion when it is shoved down my throat. And it has been for the last 4 or 5 years, and there's millions of people that will attest to that shit. Say the same thing. So people can't say, well, no, it's not, when it really is. And you get people mad at Boosie and other rappers and shit. Well, not really other rappers, but Boosie that really speaks out against certain shit. You get people all up in their feelings about what he got to say. But then you also see there's a whole slew of other people like, he's not wrong. But yet, here we are. And on that note, I think we're going to go to the teacher side of this, because a lot of this is being taught by teachers to very young children that really don't need to know nothing about it. And there's been a lot of outrage about that. So let's jump into that shit. Stay tuned for the next video. You already know what it is. Stay blessed, stay blazed, stay safe. Peace.